On this week's episode of Lincoln to Local, Oklahoma Farm Bureau's Kinsey Westwood gives us the latest on the Oklahoma state budget as we prepare to wind down the 2024 Oklahoma legislative session. Well, thanks for joining us this week, Kinsey, on Lincoln to Local. And as the Oklahoma legislative session winds down for 2024, of course, all eyes seem to have been on the budget the last several weeks, with discussions and budget summits and a kind of an unprecedented process, as far as I understand. What has the budget process looked like, and kind of where are we at?
It's been a very interesting session for budget, undoubtedly. We've had budget summits. We've had a chairman be replaced in the midst of budget negotiations. I think for a while there, we were all wondering whether or not there was going to be a budget or what was going to happen. Happy to announce that yesterday they did come to an agreement, said they had a budget deal worked out that is veto-proof as well. So the governor came in and asked for 4 things to be included in the budget, and if they were, he would not veto it. So it still has to go through the formal process of the legislature, but looks like it's a go.
Besides the state budget and all that discussion, one issue I know that's moved is House Bill 1105, which is initiative petition reform, and that's an issue our Farm Bureau members have had an interest in for a long time. Can you give us an update on what that bill does and what the direction is?
Yes, so we're very excited to see the legislature continue to look at this issue and try to address it. House Bill 1105 would require signature gatherers who are paid to go out and gather signatures have a background check, and they'd also have to pay a fee. So this just puts a little bit more accountability on those signature gatherers in this process. The big important thing for Farm Bureau is that we can reform this process, make it more secure, make it encompassing of the entire state without taking away citizens' rights to get something put on the ballot.
Another thing that's happened nationally that is has been the focus for a long time for a lot of farm organizations, including Farm Bureau at every level, has been the Farm Bill. And we've seen some exciting movement on Farm Bill discussion in the process. What's the latest, and what can our members expect to see in the coming weeks?
So Farm Bill, we've been told by our amazing staff at AFBF in DC, is ready for its first markup, which is super exciting for us. As you said, we've been waiting for that to happen for quite some time right now. We're also very thrilled to have Congressman Lucas back on the Ag Committee. So we will keep a close eye on that. Our colleagues over at AFBF have done a wonderful job working with the committee and keeping an eye on that for us and making sure that those priorities important to farmers and ranchers are included in there.
What does that markup process look like, and kind of where does this leave things with the Farm Bill, since it's been such a long time coming, it feels like?
I don't know if realistically we're going to see a Farm Bill this year, but we're at least on the right track to getting the ball moving, which I feel like we've kind of been in a little bit of a holding pattern for the last year.
Right. And of course, it being an election year, there's a lot of movement coming in the next few months as we wrap legislative session. What is Farm Bureau's involvement? What are we looking at as far as that election cycle? And what's our process that we have going on with our members?
Election season is right around the corner. We've got a lot of legislators over at 23rd and Lincoln that are kind of antsy to get out of the building so they can start knocking doors and working on their campaigns. On the Farm Bureau side of things, our PAC just wrapped up its district meetings, and we will have our state meeting next week to determine what candidates we're going to endorse in this election cycle. So exciting things happening this summer. We'll be busy for sure.
So as May comes to an end here quickly, and legislative session, of course, scheduled to end the 31st of May, what does the last week of Oklahoma legislative session look like, and what does Farm Bureau have on the horizon?
Once the budget is signed, we anticipate the legislature will adjourn. There has been some talk about a special session potentially in June sometime. I think we're still kind of waiting to see if that will happen or not. But for Farm Bureau, we will dive right into policy making, policy development, and we do have a water summit that we will be hosting in July as well. So would encourage everybody to kind of keep an eye out for information on that.
Well, thank you, Kinsey, for the update, and we look forward to seeing how the 2024 session turns out.
Absolutely.